and we're trying to wrap things up pretty soon, within the next day or two, I think. Um, we will be all done with Kane's Twitter franchise mode season 4, which is kind of crazy to think about, huh? Gonna go ahead and copy the link for this, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And there we go. Link has been tweeted. We have some hockey news, which is kind of nice to think about now. Um, Sounds like, first of all, I mean, like a minor deal, but Rick Dudley, who left the Canes organization, obviously is not going to be with the Sabres, so that's kind of interesting. We have like return to play stuff, which is exciting. Finally getting into really the thick of things here. And interestingly enough, we now have, um, oh god. So I definitely want Eddie Mackey playing on the team, but I definitely need a center, possibly a number one center, because I don't think that Aho will be good enough. So that's something I need. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I'm actually going to try and trade Courtnall here. And then Kane's prospect Massimo Rizzo is no longer committed to the University of North Dakota, which is interesting. All right. So Courtnall no longer a Canes prospect, which doesn't really hurt me. Left wingers 1, 2, 3. I think one of these 3 centers, or one of these 2 guys, will play next year. Either Nitty Mackey or Churin play on the left wing. That's fine. Right wingers were fine. And defense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got rid of Jake Bean. I think I'm going to try and find a better defenseman. And then obviously we're fine in terms of goaltending. So I really just need a center and a defenseman this year. So yeah, a top center and a top defenseman. Shistov might be our guy. He doesn't fit anywhere. That would have been too perfect. McBride also doesn't fit. Oh, I hired a new coach, so actually Chistov might fit. Let's do it. I'm fine with giving him more money than I think he deserves. Center. Ponomarev. Solid 40-point guy. He really looks to be the best center available, unfortunately. But that's fine. I think I'm only going to give him 2 years. See what he says. 2-way, just to see if there are any good prospects available. There's a good left wing prospect available. Yuri Kostitsyn, who was not drafted. And then there's this player, Felix Haller, who was a second-round pick of the Rangers. So that's probably it. Just going off of potential now. Yeah, that was about it. Okay. Cool. So here we go. Fired my head coach because they weren't a good fit. Got my NHL goalie coach, which is cool. Okay. This guy was like a really good fit. What's my staff chemistry at? 49 now. See, Russell Rabbit was the guy that I thought about. Vic Allison. Gonna offer him a ton of money. See if that swings it. If not, we'll offer Russell Rabbit a very comparable contract. And there's a few other coaches in here that could be fits for the team if that does not work out. Okay, so Rabbit is my head coach. Of course. No, Jack Eichel is going to be traded. I'd get a second-round pick for Peter Moses. 80 overall, 23 years old, low elite. I have Pohl, who is 22, a medium top 4D. Yeah, he's only a 78, but like he'd play next year. Moses is a top 4 defenseman. I'll just take the compensation. Persson accepted the offer. Yeah, I mean, I get an extra second-round pick, which is nice. I think that'll work out. And these are just prospects accepting deals, so... Yep, just gonna say no to all of these deals. Chris Pronger left the Panthers today, the Florida Panthers, to start a travel agency. Interesting. Dante Fabro traded back to Nashville. Alright. Alright, nothing there. Just gonna say no to all these trades because there's really no point in it. Jeez. Can't speak. Alright. I'm just saying no to all these. We should be getting to the 2032-2033 season soon enough. So, yeah. Time to edit the lines. What the hell is this team? The actual hell is this team? Oh, boy, I'm shocked and appalled. Okay, at least the defense isn't messed up. I was kind of hoping that pole would fit. Jeez, okay. Just shocked and appalled. Sure, whatever. Okay, that was crazy. That was probably the worst set of lines I've ever seen. Um, but anyways. Oh man. Let's get going. Regular season. The Carolina Hurricanes finally have a good head coach. Like, they finally have a head coach who fits the system and just destroyed our lines, but it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. He scratched Sebastian Aho for some reason, but you know, whatever. Easiness. So, yeah, I think we'll be fine this year. Doesn't look like we're doing well in the preseason, but that's okay. Um, I may consider making a change on defense, but it really just depends on how we do or how we do. Ooh, 7-3 loss. Okay. But then a win the next night. Okay. Minnesota is a good team, so that's not terribly surprising. Out with injured ribs. Ouch. Ouchies. Frazee is back for Charlotte. That's good, I guess. And yeah, nothing really going on that affects the team too much, thankfully. Garon out with an injured knee. So I'm going to put Pearson up there and then fill in this line. believe we have a right winger or center scratched in Kavanov. I don't know who to put there. I guess I put Pearson to replace him there. That's fine. I may actually keep it like that. Yeah, the Canes are doing well. Bomick out with an injured neck. Ouch. Okay. Alright. Best lines. I'm fine with that. I'm more okay with that. I'd rather have Gertz there. That's fine. Bit of a grinding third line. Really just hoping for some NHL games out of this guy. He was a 7th round pick. Hopefully we can get some out of him, but you know. Okay. I'm really just worried about that third pair. Oh, but it's fine. Garant is back already, so we'll make a quick change. And do that for best lines. All right, Emilio Fitzpatrick is projected to go first overall this year. Doesn't look like a great draft. I mean, he looks really good. I mean, that's 30 points in 11 games. Wouldn't be surprised to see a franchise potential pop up there just because of that production. So, yeah. But we'll have to check and see later on. Other than that, that's it. We got Bomick back, so the Canes roster is healthy now. So we'll take Kabanov, take him out there, and we'll go with best lines. And okay, they haven't changed all that much, thankfully. Instead of Talixon, then I'm gonna put in Hanu Nitimaki. And the fourth line is kind of not great, but it's fine. I want Gertz to play. So we'll just roll with that for now. After losing, you know, 2 games to start, I mean, we've done well this season. I mean, we're still not the best team ever. But I really do think that this team is one of the better teams I've constructed in this franchise mode. I think that, you know, we have, for the most part, a solid roster. Like, sure, the defense could probably be improved and will improve next year. But I really just wanted to get this team up to a solid point. And I feel like we're at that point now. Then again, we lose a couple games and, you know, we start sucking. Of course we do. So, oh well. 2 wins after that. It's kind of crazy. how up and down like the team can be, but we're in a playoff spot barely right now. Just a shootout loss to Columbus is not great. Beating the Caps is good though. Keeps the Canes competitive in the division. Charlotte gets a player back. And yeah, I mean, we're beating some of the Metropolitan Division teams, not all of them, but we're at least getting wins where we need them. Big win against Ottawa there. All right. Finishing up December with the game against Pittsburgh. It's apparently a good year for rookies. Okay. 3-2 loss against Pittsburgh. So that ends that month of November. So, new Central Scouting rankings. Let's see what this entails here. Still, we don't know anything about the top five other than that there's 3 two-way players, which is not great for offense. One gem, though, a defenseman, Ruslan Nichushkin, a defensive defenseman. So, again, not great for offense. But we'll get a potential and comparison scouting report going on him. And yeah. Big win against the Maple Leafs there. Nice one. Nope. Alright. Ooh, a loss to the Islanders. That's not great. But we shut out the Coyotes. We're in a playoff spot. Kind of wishing that we were a little closer to being in the, or like a little, like our playoff spot was a little more secure, I guess, is what I was going to say. Colorado fires Louis Lamoureux. Probably Louis Lamoureux. And Charlotte loses Jacob Churin. Just gonna say no. Churin's already back, so that's good. Canes are 2014 and 2. We've it's I think that this team is barely, I mean, we're the Metro Division last year was not very good, and then I think this year we're just barely good enough to be in a playoff spot in this division. Like, we're not bad enough to be out of a playoff spot, but yeah. I think it's time to look for a true number one center, and unfortunately that might mean saying goodbye to Sebastian Aho because I don't have. I was trying to find one this year, and Panamerov was the only one, which just wasn't good. I needed more, and I needed a better center, and I just couldn't find one. Aho will more than likely regress a little further this year. Like, luckily, this team is good enough to keep winning at least some of the games, but like, I need a number one center, and I don't have one, and I don't have one in the system. I was kind of hoping that Roach would be that guy, and he regressed to an 83, which is why he's no longer on the team. That was kind of the fault of our coaching staff, though. Our coaches just didn't want to play him. So, yeah. We're winning games with a little more regularity now, getting a little bit more space between us and the bottom teams in our division. Central Scouting rankings in this past month, we have found out about 3 of the top 5 players. We still know nothing about Emilio Fitzpatrick. He's over. He's almost a goal per game, over an assist per game, and Tyler Tan is taking a long ass time to scout this guy. Our last scouting report has revealed that Ruslan Nichushkin is a medium top four defenseman with good size and strength and balance, so he's a decent skater, or at least like his balance is good. Teammate utilization is not good, so he's just not a very good offensive player. So, it's not the best. We do head into the All-Star break with a win against the Jets, which gives us a bit of a cushion in the Metro Division right now, but we still have to win games. We still have to, yeah, we just have to get closer. But we are now second in the division, 4 points behind Philadelphia for the division lead. One sec. Okay. Sorry, I was on the phone, Trevor, but welcome. Yeah, you haven't missed much. I just kind of went through the season, hired a new coach that was actually like a pretty good fit for my team. I think his team overall team fit was like 61. I tried getting the guy who was 67% team fit, but just didn't work out. He didn't like my staff chemistry, and so I went with the sure thing and the 61 overall team fit guy. But um, that's really been it. A bit of a slow start, and then we just kind of have been doing really well lately. But here's a franchise player with a Sean Couturier comparison. I have plenty of picks in this draft, and he is a center. And I was just talking about how I needed a new number one center. So I think I'm actually going to try and get this guy in the draft this year. I'm just going to try trading up because I really do need a number one center, and I don't have one. We're already a playoff team. We've already clinched the playoffs, so we are ready to go. And yeah, I think that this team could go pretty far. I don't know how Charlotte's doing. They've had a lot of injuries this year, so hopefully they're okay. I did take quite a few players from the Checkers this year. Canes have clinched a division, a spot, or no, they've clinched the Metropolitan Division, which isn't too surprising given the lead they already had. Looks like the Jets will win the President's Trophy this year. Pirietto scores for the Canes in the first. This is the last game of the season. Third period. Here's everybody just padding the stats. And yeah. So, Canes clinched the East but will not win the President's Trophy, but that's a very good start for the Hurricanes' new head coach. Trevor, 44 goals and 41 assists for a grand total of 85 points. This is your age 31 season, so it's a pretty big year. It's going to be Canes versus Islanders. The Checkers will not be a playoff team this year, unfortunately, which is fine. I did take away quite a bit of talent from them. But yeah, Trevor, let's take a look at your player. Fairly solid season. It definitely has not been as good of a career as we're used to seeing you have, but I think it's just because the Canes as a whole this time around have not been very good. That's more than likely what the deal is. Aho with a great season as well, just finishing 1 point behind you. 20 points higher of point totals than last season, bringing his point totals up to 1351 in 1381 games. That's a Hall of Fame career in my book. He didn't hit any other big milestones other than 1,300 career points this season, but that's a big milestone. Svetch with a nice 69 points. He's definitely winding down in his career. Hitting 400 goals this season, which is kind of funny to think about. Like, he's definitely going to be a great goal scorer in the NHL, but it's just really funny. I brought in Stanislav Chistov this year, and I'm really happy that I did because he and Sweeney as my first pair combined for over 100 points. Almost 120 points, which is kind of insane. There's a significant drop-off from there, though. Like, the other lines didn't do as well. But the top end of the roster really did well, and I'm going to be looking for them to kind of carry me in the playoffs this year. That's what's going on. Here we go. Canes and Islanders, game 1 of the first round of the playoffs. First period, Canes are losing. Ponomarev gets the goal for the Canes. Holmstrom and Byfield score for the Islanders. Second period, Canes are still down 1. Niittymaki getting the first goal, or his first career playoff goal. Bach getting his first of the playoffs. Third period, that's a Canes win. Ponomarev and Bach scoring their second of the game. Both of them scored 2 goals. And the Canes walking away with a Game 1 victory thanks to Dominic Bach. So like I said, I'd be counting on the second line and down to really contribute. And that's all of the players that scored in this game were playing on those bottom 3 lines. So that's really good for me. That's what I want to see more of. Obviously want to see the first line and the first pair get things done, but it's good to see the scoring depth. But speaking of the first line, there is Trevor scoring from center ice in this game. No score after 2, or no change in score after 2, and the third period, Canes lose. Niittymaki scoring again, but unfortunately the Canes lose game 2. and we'll move on. I don't know if you watched the last time we streamed, Trevor, but you did have another overtime winner in the playoffs. So, big playoff performer here. First period, Trevor with a big goal there in the first period after Bjorkstrand takes the lead. Second period, the Islanders just kick ass in the second. And the third, Hedl scores. And the Canes really struggling these last two games to get any offense and defense going here. Ponomarev is doing well, but the rest of the team just isn't doing all that well. So the Canes will need a big game 4 here. Game 4, there's a good start. Gertz and Chistov scoring their first goals of the playoffs here. Second period, Gertz gets another goal, and then the third period, it's a tie game. Golly. Alright, well, here we go. Canes and Islanders, overtime, game 4. The Canes need a win in this game to tie the series up. I will not accept anything less than that. Alright, so this is going to be Ponomarev and Big Sam on the face-off here. And he wins it back, and Quinton Byfield immediately steals the puck. Okay, Dobson gets it to Big Sam, to Connor Duar. Jet Wu is on the Islanders. Interesting. Block shot, what a tip out in front. Just a weird, just a weird tip there. But great save from the Canes goaltender. I don't know if it's Jacobs or Glebov that's in the game, but here's Trevor. Gets it to Svetch, back to Trevor. Brings it up to Sweeney. Shot. Missed the net. That was a good chance, though. Had a wide open shooting lane, and oh god. Jacobs is the one in net, and Quinton Byfield is just kind of tearing apart this team here. The Canes need to get something going here. And Byfield has been excellent in this overtime. So, just on the first shift, he's been excellent. So, Big Sam wins the faceoff again. Svechnikov bowls over his man and gets the puck back, draws a penalty, and here come the Canes. And they're going on the power play here. It's going to be the second unit out on the ice for the Canes first, since the first unit is here. But right after I say great things about Quinton Byfield, he takes a penalty. And that's just a lazy hooking penalty right there. But here we go. Trevor, Aho, and Bomick out on the ice. I can't see who the defenders are. Trevor gets the puck off the faceoff, gets it to Aho. Shot. What a tip by Trevor, and a great save by Carter Metz. I believe it's Metz that's in goal. And there's another face-off win. Prieto with the puck now. Bomick shot, save, another one. Aho got it blocked. Philip Hedl clears it. Great chances from the Canes' first unit early on. Prieto with the puck on his stick gets it to Svechnikov. And Svech turns the puck over to Big Sam. Of course he does. All right. Lambos with the puck now. Gets it to Hedl. Shot, scores. Short-handed fucking goal. Canes had 48 shots in that game. Jesus. That's upsetting. I'm not even going to lie. That's upsetting. I'm not going to blame this head coach because it is still early, but you can't give up a shorthanded goal like that in overtime. Jeez. Well, the Islanders are going to win. Canes lose, and their season is over. A very disappointing season after winning the conference. Yeah, Michael Goodrow's out, too. Let's just add that. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter because we lost, and yeah. No, we'll move on to the draft. Our draft pick is still not going to be high because we were one of the top teams in the East, but, you know, whatever. We'll trade everything we need to. Obviously, we have Fitzpatrick here as one of our players. Yeah, I don't understand, man. We just cannot win um in this franchise mode. We have another low top 4D. This guy's probably a low top 6 forward. Not a great draft overall. Hopefully we can find a gem that's actually like an actual gem, not just one with like okay potential. Buffalo wins the Stanley Cup. Texas wins the Calder. Um, Toronto gets the lottery pick. Okay. New Central Scouting rankings. Let's see where if the Canes scouting staff actually did their homework here. They really didn't. Okay, well, that sucks. That really is not very good. Retired players. Here's where I'm a little nervous. McDavid retires, which is fine. I don't see any other Canes on this list, which is okay. We don't have a very old team. Vasilevsky's the big goalie to retire this year. Our team is still fairly young. But I think I need to get rid of some of the grinders on this team. Like Garrel, he was fine, but like I think I can do better. Barkov, Couturier, and Jones are now coaches. Congrats to them. And I need a new DEL scout for next year. Sean Klassen, one of my Carolina Hurricanes coaches, has retired officially. So I will need to hire a new coach of some sort next year. Awards. Trevor, you may have won an award. I'm not sure. Winnipeg won the President's Trophy. It was an Anaheim versus Buffalo series. Patrick winning the Art Ross and the Hart. Connor winning the Norris. Patrick winning the Conn Smythe. Kurt winning the William M. Jennings. That's neat. Patrick winning the Selke, the Ted Lindsay, and the Rocky Richard. He just kind of tore up the league this year. Any checkers? Nope. Okay. So not a great year for the Canes. But it'll be all worthwhile when we get Jan first overall pick. Draft picks. I'm trading the 26th overall pick. For sure. Damn, I was really hoping they'd want like Aho. Aho's trade value is non-existent. Okay. Ponomarev, because his trade value is still alright. Skaters matching the block. It's kind of all over the place. Is Bloom a defensive defenseman? He is, so I think I'm going to try and get rid of him as well. And this is just an outlandish... It's going to be such a bad trade for the Canes. I'm going to keep Dredger because I like him. Dobin. That's already a pretty even trade. Let's see what they say. Isn't where it needs to be at all. So let's see if adding Pole helps out because he doesn't fit the system. Okay. Goalies. No. Actually, woefully insufficient, huh? What if I give up next year's first in addition? Woefully insufficient. Okay, instead of Panamerev, let's just give them a player that's actually on their trade block. Like Nold. Still woefully insufficient. Oh, he did already say no to that deal. What about Hilpert instead? I can call a timeout? I don't think I can. No, I can't. Fuck it. I know they have 30 seconds left. Bach didn't have a good season. I'm not convinced that he will have a good season. Woefully insufficient. I only have a few more seconds. Let's just give him Bloom and Nolan. That should very much do it. What? Dredger as well. That's my final offer. I can't make any. Ah! I know you don't want to trade him. You've made it very fucking clear. That's upsetting. Let's just see if they want to trade for him now that now that they've drafted him. All right. I can't. I'm not. Yeah. I'll just find my number one center somewhere else. Oh, damn, it's not going to be in this draft. Nathan McIntyre is my pick. Medium top 6 center. He's a playmaker, so I at least get a playmaker. I at least get a center with offensive upside. That's damn hard to find. I'm not going to draft a grinder because that's just wasting a pick. Ricard Pirieta, I have his brother. Medium top 9 forward. Great. Another pick. Elf Backer. My scouts really like this guy. Low elite defensive defenseman. It's something. Caleb Collins now. Again, my scouts like him. Low top 6, and we'll just move a couple picks later. I have 3 third-round picks in this draft, I believe. So let's pick the two-way defenseman here because I have no other options. And then 88th overall. I mean, if he is actually a medium top 6 forward, that's a hell of a pick. Medium top 9. Meh. Yeah, I'm convinced that Toronto was not going to trade that pick, even if they did. Even if I did offer like you all of my defense, like it just wasn't going to work out. So plenty of low elite talent in this draft this year, but all defensemen. Not an area of need. There's a medium elite defenseman here, Trenton Franzen, that I'm going to pick up. He's a defensive defenseman, and he's only 53 overall at 19 years old, which is not good. But yeah, I don't really need medium elite. I don't need goaltending period in this draft, I don't think. So we'll draft Popov here because he is a defenseman. Low elite, and we'll just grab the best players available. Um, he's 18, so that's a good pick. Even if he is only like 46 overall, probably. Stu Moses, 46 overall. I was actually right. And then with our last pick in the draft, there's really nobody. I'm tired of picking defensemen. We'll just pick Alan Hargrave because he has medium top 9 forward potential. And I don't need defensemen anymore. I've picked too many this draft. So a decent draft, pretty good. But unfortunately, I don't get my top center, which is the thing that I needed the most. My whole NHL team, my associate coach has retired, and my AHL team needs a coaching staff change. Elenick didn't seem to be a very good fit for the team. Yeah. Yikes. And then scouting, I need to hire a new scout this year for sure. So I got my extra Liga scout. And then I'll just sign. I don't care too much about how good my NHL scouting department is. Okay. Future of the team. Unsigned prospects right now. Pretty okay. Yeah, I think I signed quite a few players from this draft already. Barnaby, I may not have had a first round pick. Definitely thought I did. But, like, probably going to have 3 players from this draft class sign. And then that'll be it. Expiring players. So Michael Goodrow is the best player on this list. Sebastian Aho has potential to stay at where he's at. I'm definitely going to offer a contract to Bomek here because he is worth every penny. He had a good year last year. I'm only going to give him 2 years, but I think that'll do it. Lidimäki also did pretty well. I'm not going to sign Kabanov because he is a grinder, and that just doesn't do anything for my team. Aho, I think I can say goodbye to. I don't want to say goodbye to him, though. He wants 2 more years. I'm only going to give him 1 more year and then probably let go of him. Gertz does not want a contract. He didn't do all that well, and he's only 84. I think I can do better. I'll just qualify him, and I'm not going to sign Janssen. Persson, same deal, just going to qualify him again. Defense, Michael Goodrow wants a new contract. I'm going to give that to him. Think I can do better than Josefsson. Pole, I'm going to qualify. I'll qualify Darling. I'll sign Bloom. I'm sorry for wanting to trade you so many damn times. And then I didn't mean to hit B twice there. Damn. Really was a buzzkill, like losing that trade. Guess I'll qualify him too. Both of those players are never going to be prospects for me, I don't think. So, yeah. Goaltending. Well, Glebov wants a new contract, and he's going to get all of the money. An 8-year contract is actually good because that just means that he will stay on the team for a long time, and I won't have to worry about it. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Alright. God. Okay, so everybody has accepted. We'll just advance and then figure something out. Okay. First off, I need coaches. Well, scouts, I still only need the one European scout. So I need an NHL associate coach here first. And it'll be important to get a good one here. And actually, it looks like this guy's the best. Stanley Elenick, the guy that I had as my AHL coach, wants to be an NHL associate coach. And I'll offer him a contract. We'll promote him to the NHL team. Can you see like where his last... He's not a very good fit for the team, but he's pretty good at teaching. So I don't think it actually matters like what these coaches' team fits are. Maybe it does. Maybe I should pay more attention to that later on. But his PK is really good. Coach influence is also pretty high, so that's good. I need an AHL head coach, and I need a decent one. Camille Parento. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Syracuse wants her, but I think that's enough money to get her to sign. And then I also need an associate coach, and preferably one who doesn't suck. So go with this guy, Pierre Saint-Louis. There's my AHL coaching staff. Let's hire a European scout. This guy's the best because his efficiency and discovery are pretty good, so we'll just offer him a little more money so he definitely stays. Alright, proposed trade. I'm just going to look and see what we need. Centers. Don't actually need a center. I'm still going to see if there is one, but I don't need one. Okay. Okay. I need a defenseman for sure. So I'm going to see who the best center available is, and if I need to trade somebody, I will. Cole Perfetti's available. He doesn't fit. I need somebody that actually fits. Blaine. All forward lines. Capable of almost 70 points. Skirt. Found my number one center. I think it would be nice to add Jason Mariani to the team. He'd play on my second pair. 4 years, a little too much. Let's just offer him 1 year. Or 3 years. And then prospects, just to see what's available. Tuomanen here, offensive defenseman. He is 22, but, you know, that's an AHL ready prospect. A former second round pick of the Vancouver Canucks. And I think that's all I'm going to do here. Yeah, I just can't see me signing any of these other players. Alright, so I got my AHL associate coach and my DEL scout. Got my NHL associate coach, and got the Charlotte head coach. I'm set. I got my defensive prospect too, which is kind of neat. Got Jason, and I got my center. So that means I have to say goodbye to a player. I'm not going to say goodbye to Aho because he's still pretty good. And, like, even if he's not great, I can just swap him out for somebody. So I think Vasily Ponomarev here is the player I want to trade. And I'll trade him to the Bruins, sure. It's a little expensive. Like, that first round pick is a little expensive. I had a lot of picks in last year's draft. Okay, the fourth round pick didn't actually swing things as much as I thought it would. McIntyre was a player I just drafted. Okay. Alright, then that's not worth it. If their first round pick is worth that damn much. Alright, so Ponomarev just traded for Calgary's first. That might work out in my favor, it might not. But either way, we are done for the season. I have nothing left to trade. So we're done for now. All that's left is to just keep on keeping on. Just a couple players accepting their qualifying offers. Nunimaki will match the offer just because I think that he's still worth it. If he's not playing, I may trade him, but you know what? It's fine. Paul, he doesn't really fit the system well, but he's still a good prospect, so I think I'm gonna keep him in the team. Matthew Tkachuk traded to Dallas. Okay. Be on the lookout in the next day or two for a mock draft. I'm doing a 4-round mock draft finally and just getting things done. Kotkaniemi traded to Colorado. What a bust. I know. I feel bad for Habs fans who legitimately think that he's better than Svech. Linda McCallum traded to the Rangers. He was a Kane. I can't remember when he was a Hurricane. If he was in last time. I am fully prepared to bask in his glory tonight. As Keith Lee takes on Adam Cole for both the North American Championship and the NXT Championship in a winner-takes-all match. My body is ready. Okay. Shh. No spoilers. I kind of know what happens. What's his name? Indus Sher, I think, spoiled the he spoiled the fun last night a little bit, but it's fine. Who is missing from the lineup? I think, yeah, I think it was Indus Sher spoiled the ending, and I've been trying my hardest to avoid spoilers these past few days. Just because I really, really don't want to have spoilers. Yeah, Aho was scratched. I saw that. Dominic Bach is also scratched. Okay. See, I want Nold to play. His role just isn't high enough for it, but he's too high for Charlotte. Here's what I'll do. $61. Okay, probably not. 60. 72. All right, Noel. Welcome to being my first line center. Or my fourth line center. Gotta switch that, or I gotta keep that for now. And yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good team. Defensively, nothing really changed. But I think we did get better. Like, my second pair got better, and that was a bit of a weakness last year, so that might help the team a little bit. Offensively, see, here's the thing. Garron isn't a... He's not an offensive forward. An offensive player. I want the best players playing on the power play. And right now they're not. I think that's probably why Bach had a bad season. So we'll stick with this for now and see what happens. I don't care too much about Charlotte's roster. Most of those guys... I mean, we're still at the point where, like, my draft picks matter. Like, my draft picks will still matter. But the next 2 or 3 drafts are, maybe even the next, like, 1 or 2 drafts, are the last drafts that will actually matter for this Canes Twitter franchise mode. So, yeah. It's not important right now. Alright. So I have 2 first-round picks in this draft, which is important. And, yeah. Alright. This season should be one of our best seasons yet. I hope. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this is our year. We've only won 1 championship so far in this. I think the last Canes Twitter franchise mode we did was just better overall. We were just a better team, but you know. I could be. I could be wrong. I could just be imagining things, but I feel like last time we just had great teams, great coaching. All of our coaches like fit the system really well. It all just like I don't know, it all just worked out. But I don't know. Could be wrong. What we got going on in the draft this year? Elliot Humphrey, another center projected to go first overall. And there's two centers projected to go first and second in this draft. We don't know anything about either player, but that's fine as of right now. Canes shut out in back-to-back games. Yikes. But they win a big game there against Dallas. Defensively, it seems like we're kind of stuck where we were at before. But that's okay, because if the Canes can get better and get out of this funk we're in. Okay. Svech is out, which is unfortunate to say the least. None of the lines work for me. Screw it. Let's see what happens. Alright. 3-4-0. And let's at least end the month of October. A very quiet month for the Canes. Let's at least end it with a win. We do. And we're 500. Svech is back. So, yeah. Trevor, you're on the second line, but that might not be terrible. Ooh, no. I just want to know how to play. The third line. I think we'll be fine. Let's see. If the first line stays at the +3, that might be better. Because that might just mean that the team as a whole just improves. So, like, you have to have synergy. And even if the third line's not great, like, the first line kind of carries the team. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oof. Okay. Forgot to change the power play, which might matter. Might not. But Trevor, you're having a fantastic season, by the way. That's fine, I think. Does it change if I... Oh, that's better. I'm fine with it. Let's do it. Let's see if that changes anything, because I need Pirieta on the team because he's one of the best. He's a goal scorer, and I have no goal scoring. I don't want to sim to March. I want to sim to February 1st. So the team's struggling. Maybe fixing the power play helps out. Maybe it doesn't, but either way, like, we get some help for my prospects. Big shootout win against the Sens and then a win against the Jets. Since I made those changes, we've had 2 wins. Good year for rookies as well. Make it 3. Okay, and we beat the Rangers, who are ahead of us. Loss to the Islanders is unfortunate. But we're 3-1 since I made those power play changes. I'd just like that to be known. All 3 of which were 1-goal games. So if I didn't make that change, maybe it doesn't matter. Your Carolina Hurricanes are in a playoff spot. Yeah, I don't know, man. 5-1, 6-1 since I made the power play changes. Could just be a coincidence, but that's still very good. And we were struggling. We had 3 straight losses. Like, since Svetch had returned from injury, we had 3 straight losses too, and that just never happens. So, Pohl out with a mild concussion. He's a fairly inconsequential part of this team. Just on the third pair, I don't have any defensemen available, so I have to put in Hordichuk here. So that's going to be a little rough, but that's fine. We'll be fine. And he's back already, so that experiment ends before it can really begin. Yeah, I have a lot of defensive defensemen on this team, and that's kind of a problem. I've drafted two-way defensemen and offensive defensemen, but the only ones that have seemed to really work out for me are the defensive ones. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, here come the Canes. Hopefully we can win more games. Still don't know anything about these two guys. We know that he's a playmaker, but that's it. And it's looking like Calgary's not doing great at the start of this season either. Garrel out with a wrist sprain. We'll put Hordichuk in the lineup. He had 2 games played. Averaged 732 of ice time. There we go. There's another win. Alright. West Coast road trip here, starting off with a loss. We need back-to-back wins here, basically. Garrel is back. How did my man Hordichuk do? Not great. Not great. His average ice time raised, which was nice, but ooh. Churin, one of my better players, is out with post-concussion syndrome, which is not great. So we got to put Blaine back on the first line, which is probably for the best, actually. That might help the team. Doesn't help our scoring depth, but like, it's good. It's fine. We have to start beating some teams in the Atlantic too to try and steal a wild card spot away from them. Yeah, Calgary not doing that great this season. We beat them to, take some points away from them, make their draft position hopefully a little bit worse. 2 points doesn't really matter a whole lot, but stranger things have happened. Big win against the Sens, so we have a point streak going, a 3-game point streak. Playing against the Caps here, losing to the Caps, and then an overtime loss to the Panthers, none of which is good. We needed wins there and got none of them. Got to beat the Caps. They're one of the worst teams in the division this year. We lose to them again, so we cannot beat the bad teams. Luckily, the teams ahead of us aren't winning too much, so we're still close to them. We're only 1 point behind the Flyers. We're breathing down their necks, but scary. Big win against Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh is now behind us, so that was a big win. Lost to LA, jeez. Can we string together some wins, please? My family is dying. Pirietta out with a mild concussion. The Canes lose their top winger. The hell is this? The hell is this? Get the hell out of here. Hell nah. Absolutely not. Hordachuk actually has gotten his first 2 NHL points, but... Oh, Pearson has done poorly this season. You know what, Hordachuk, you've earned a spot there. Nidumaki, actually, I want him to succeed. Sorry, Hordachuk. Like, bumped you around a good bit. Nolan, his ice time isn't bad, but he's no points in 6 games. Promising prospect, though. Big win there against Dallas to kind of get... Ooh, we're in a wild card spot. A wild card spot is now in the Metro, which is good. The Canes still need to win games. They need to win all of their games, but... Pirietta is back in the lineup for the Hurricanes. Sound the trumpets here. I'd rather have my third line. This coach rolls for 3 lines for the most part anyways. And Garon is not a good player. He's a grinder. There we go. 4 straight wins. I asked if we could string some wins together, and we got it. I should have looked at that Joey Keane trade, actually, because if he was like an 80 and even sort of remotely fit the system, he would have been better than Pohl. Which is kind of bad, but, you know. That third pair is a weakness right now. I probably should have addressed it in the off-season, but I thought I didn't need to. I guess I could have brought in Jason Mariani and added Josephson again, but I don't think that really would have fixed anything. Okay. We did lose our 4-game winning streak against Ottawa, but we're back on a 3-game win streak here. So we're stringing together some wins. Let's take a look at the draft class. And we know nothing about the top 2 players still. That's looking like elite production. Dansk. I believe that's also medium elite production, so still don't know anything. Any gems or busts in this draft? None. Still. We're in January and still no gems or busts. Interesting. We lose to the Blue Jackets, so they do take over a spot from us. Or they move up to second in the division. We move down to third. Heading into the All-Star break, though, the Canes are in a wild card spot, doing much better than they were. Still a little concerned about this season, but I think it's okay. Churin is back. I totally forgot that he was hurt. That's a lineup right there. I think that is the best lineup we have. Churin was doing all right before the season ended. He's only 21, low elite. This is a good team. I think with a healthy roster, we're a Stanley Cup contender here. We're going to sim to March 1st, which is the trade deadline. I'm not 100% confident. I'm happy that we have a healthy roster now. New Jersey has fired Philip Standard, actually after we played them. So that win against the Devils was the straw that broke the camel's back. We have caused a team to fire their head coach. Canes are winning some games on a 3-game win streak after entering the break on a losing streak. which is good. Canes versus Oilers here. Another win, pushing our win streak up to 4 games. We're starting to contend for some of the higher positions in the division. Playing against Columbus, this is a big game because I think they were ahead of us. There's another big win. Canes are second in the division now. And a big back-to-back at home to finish off a 4-game homestand. Losing to the Wild and then winning against Pittsburgh. So we beat the Metropolitan Division team, which is probably good. Even though I don't think Pittsburgh is very good. So far, the month of February has been great for the Canes. Winning most of our games. The Islanders trade Carson Lambos to Vegas, making the Islanders a little worse. We do play them in a little bit. I think we're done against Vegas. Let's check and see how good Joey Keane is. 78 overall. Dang. If he was an 80 overall, I would have said yes to that trade. But no, that doesn't make any sense for us. We're playing against the Wild. We beat the Wild. We shut them out, which is huge. We do lose to Toronto, but I'm okay with that. Connor Timmins traded from Philly to Colorado. We play Philly a week after we play the Islanders, so Colorado getting Timander from Columbus, so Columbus making a trade to get worse. Rousseau out with a broken hand. That hurts the Canes a little bit because he is on our third pair, but in all honesty, it's really not going to matter. We'll just put Hordichuk back in the lineup. He's played in 24 games this season. Hasn't done all that well, but at least he's played. Former Hurricane Boychuk traded to Edmonton. Barabal heading to St. Louis. That's a Western Conference trade right there. Yeah, so we've lost 3 straight. We're still pretty comfortably in a playoff spot, but I would like to see the Canes start to turn things around. Minnesota gets former Hurricane center Fred Roach. That was a good pick. I mean, he obviously wasn't a Jurgen Klinge like we had the last time around. Do we have Sebastian Aho playing defense? We do. That is 2 horrible defensive pairings. Holy crap. None of it will be made worse. So Pohl just doesn't fit the team. Got it. Okay. So yeah, with Jason Mariani out, that will unfortunately cause the team to lose 4 straight games. New York adds a good defenseman from Philadelphia. The Islanders trade a center. And yeah, the Canes have lost 5 straight. I know, because I have 2 defensemen hurt, and I don't have any good defensive prospects. I mean, I guess... Let's just check the injury report real quick. He's still pending evaluation. He's not back until April 14th, so he's out for pretty much the rest of the year. Until the playoffs, at least. So, in the system, I have Frazee, who I'm going to call up. Other than that, though, it doesn't make any sense to call up a 76 overall defenseman. I'll have... Let's just do this real quick. So you see Frazee plays on defense. And then... That's fine because he's a better fit. So yeah, we at least have a defenseman playing. And then when Jason Mariani comes back... will have a full defensive core, but let's take a look. Have we found out what his deal is? He returned March 8th. So, like, obviously we need to win some games, but with Frazee back in the lineup, that third pair might not be as bad. Finally breaking a 5-game losing streak with a win. Jason is back. So let's change things up. Let's do that. Let's get Aho up here. Let's get Nitty Mackey there. And that's my roster here. Defensively, Frazee is a much better fit, apparently. So that defensive pairing is only a -1. We'll see what happens when Rousseau comes back, though. So the Canes, we lost 5 straight, and now we've won 4 straight. 5 straight, and we do lose to the Devils, but it's fine. There's a win against Anaheim. New draft rankings. Let's see what's going on. We still don't know anything about Elliot Humphrey, but we do know that Per Dansk is a medium elite center. And yeah, looks like Calgary's pick is not great. We have one gem in this draft, a low top 4 defenseman. Glebov, my goaltender, is out with a bruised right hand. So I need to call up a goaltender. Yikes. Edit lines. This needs to happen. I have to make Jacobs my starter, and yeah, hopefully Glebov is only out for a little bit. Big win against the Kings. That's a big one. Damn. There goes our playoff hopes, I think. Yep. Damn. Just lost our number 1 center. I mean, Shurin might be decent, but like, jeez. At least Glebov is back. Get your ass out of here. Put Glebov back in the lineup. How's he doing this season? Okay. I don't care too much. Alright. Your Carolina Hurricanes will be back in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. And barring a miracle, it looks like we'll be without our number 1 center for the entirety of the playoffs. He comes back at the end of May, so if we make it to the Stanley Cup final, it's possible that he could join us like halfway through the series, but that does require this inconsistent ass team to win 3 series. So yeah, I don't know about that. But Trevor leading the team with 75 points in this game. Jackson Rousseau is back for the Carolina Hurricanes. Who now have a semi-healthy roster. If I put Pohl out of the lineup and put Frazee in instead, that makes the third pairing better. Because they have a little bit less of an issue with synergy. So Let's keep moving. I think we'll be okay. The power play seemed to be fine, and in all honesty, like, this team, I'm not, since we're missing our number one center, I'm just gonna go with the flow here. First period, Nitty scoring on the power play. I'm gonna keep him on there. He seems to score on the power play every time he's on there. Second period, Canes with another goal from Nitty. I'm just saying, he's doing fine. Third period, Canes win. Pirieta and Chistov with the goals for the Canes. So that's a very good Game 1 win. Hannu Niittymaki with 2 goals in that game. But this is the thing, like last time when we played the Islanders, by the way, here are the stats. 370-point scorers on this team. Blaine was doing incredibly well when he got hurt. Aho had another really solid season. He's 36, and this, I don't think it's his last year. I think next year will be his last year. Like, that's kind of how he's coded. But really good season from him. Svechnikov, 64 points in this season, hitting 700 career NHL assists and 1,100 career points. On the fringe of a Hall of Fame career. Aho, though, I think just cements his Hall of Fame status. 800 career assists and 600 career points or goals this season, with 1,400 career points overall. I think he's 100% one of the best players selected from the 2015 draft class already. And yeah, Pirieta had a solid season on the first line too. So yeah. All right, Canes. That's Charlotte's last game of the season as well. Canes and Blue Jackets. First period, Sweeney with his first of the playoffs on the power play. Second period, Carney. Oh, that's for the Blue Jackets. I was like, who the hell is that? Russo and Box scoring. And third period, Canes win. Michael Goodrow getting an empty net goal as an insurance marker. We've scored 2 power play goals in this series, so I think we're fine. Trevor, your player, has 4 assists. And the AHL season has ended, and Charlotte is a playoff team, so they're back in the playoffs, playing against Bridgeport. Game 3, these are in Columbus now at Nationwide Arena. First period, Canes with the lead. Sweeney and Pirieta scoring even strength goals from almost identical spots. Second period was a little rough for the Canes. Churin scores. And then 4 straight goals from the Blue Jackets make it 5-3 Blue Jackets. Columbus wins 6-3. That was a little rough, not going to lie. But the Canes still have a 2-1 lead in the series. And here we go. First period, Game 4. Columbus getting out to an early lead. Second period, Canes come close to tying it. Niittymaki and Pirieta scoring. Third period, no score. Series is tied 2-2. And how's Charlotte doing these first 2 games? They always play Bridgeport and they always do poorly. Well, tied series so far. Game 5, the Canes have lost 2 straight after winning the first 2 games, so they need a big game here. First period, no score after 1. Shots are pretty even. Canes with 2 goals from Michael Goodrow. Third period, Canes with a big shutout win, and Niittymaki scoring again for the Canes. Having a good series. Michael Goodrow with 3 points, Jason Mariani with 2, and Glebov having a 25-save shutout. That's a great Game 5 win for the Canes. Michael Goodrow having a hell of a playoff series so far too. Game 6. Here we go. No score after the first period. Shots again pretty even. Churin and Box scoring. Third period, Canes win. Trevor with the power play goal to kind of seal the deal. The Canes will be moving on to the second round. Thank God. Charlotte has lost their series, unfortunately, so That is it. No games went to Game 7 in the first round, so it's going to be a Canes versus Montreal series. Montreal, that's a bit of a surprising series. Canes winning the first period thanks to Taxon here. Tie game from K. Teravainen, and third period no score. So we're heading to overtime. A very even game so far. Canes again with a fairly healthy roster. We are missing what's his name? I can't think of it. Blaine, I think. So it's impressive that we won that first round without him. Just shows that this team is pretty deep finally. But it's Sharon on the face-off against K. Teravainen wearing 85. And they win. 57 with the puck on his stick. Shot blocked out in front. And number 41 has a puck on the board battle. Malone blocked, and Shistov gets the puck up to Svechnikov, who enters the offensive zone. Has the puck at the circles. Back to Shistov, to Churin. Shistov has it to Sweeney. Sweeney had the puck. Churin with it now to Pirieta, who turns it over. And Ma with the puck on his stick. Ma with it, number 89. Great hit there. Teravainen with the shot. Glebov with a nice save after the puck just kind of came to him there. And Shistov leading the playoffs in hits so far. A very physical defender, something the Canes lacked. Trevor, Aho, and Bach out on the face-off now. Kolomainen to Malone. Plekhanov. Glebov makes a save. My goodness. The Canadians have a very hard-to-pronounce team. Yeah, Plekhanov, Travers, and McAllister on the ice against Michaels, Aho, and Bach. Aho loses the face-off on the tie-up. McAllister has the puck. Shot, score. Jesus. Canes' defense just kind of stood there, huh? Well, that's game one. Trevor, what was your line doing there, man? I don't know, man. It's alright. Tough game one, but there's still, quite a few games left in this series to change things. It's a more even series. I don't think Columbus was that good of a team this year. Canes leading thanks to Sweeney scoring. Second period, Connor Zary and Yablonski take the lead for Montreal. Third period, Montreal wins thanks to Pettersson. All right. Game 3, the Canes need wins here because they've scored one. They need goals, first of all. They've scored one goal in both of the games so far. First period, that's a good way to start. Now don't let them score. Shistov, Churin, and Aho scoring on Chris Miracle. That's probably why we can't score a damn goal. Trevor with a power play goal. Third period, Montreal wins thanks to Plekhanov, and all of a sudden the Canes are on the verge of getting swept in the second round again. Let's see. Yeah, just stop them. Don't let them score. Aho gets a goal in the second. Third period, Jason Mariani scores. Canes shut out the Canadians, which is just the type of game they need. Mohamed Hordachuk out with a strained hamstring, so the Canes will have to make some changes here to the lineup. Okay, that doesn't change anything really. I think we're going to do that just because I want Nidimaki on the line. Let's do that. Boom. There we go. Okay. So, Game 5 is a big game. The Canes have forced a Game 5 in this series. They need a win, though, because they're facing elimination. First period, Persson, Nidimaki, and Shistov score. No score after 2. Montreal almost comes back, but the Canes win and have forced a Game 6, staying alive in this series. Hordachuk is back. So the only change I'm going to make to the lineup is just putting Hordachuk back in. Nold, thank you for your service in the last game, but it's not really necessary right now. We'll have Hordichuk at center. Game 6. Hordichuk is back. Trevor leading the team in points in these playoffs. First period, Plekhanov scores. Second period, we get a goal from Sweeney, but Ma takes the lead. Third period, Canes lose. Bach scores, but unfortunately it's too little too late. The Canes lose in 6 games in the second round. And yeah, we have one shot at the lottery this year, though, with Calgary's pick, and it looks to be a top 10 pick, possibly. So that's exciting. 2 gems in this draft. One is probably a low top 6 forward, and Luke Girard. He's a two-way left winger. Yeah, Blaine has returned to the lineup, so of course, if we had him back, I think we could have done it, but it would have been tough. Oh, was he a franchise player? I didn't even see. 13th overall is not great, though. View the draft class. He is a franchise playmaker. How? With Wayne Gretzky comparisons. Oh, God. I'm going to do it. I'm ready to get hurt again for sure, but let's try it out. Let's see what we can do. Retired players. Aho still has not retired. Okay. So he has one more NHL season left in him, maybe 2. Can I make trades before the draft starts? I don't believe so. My NHL associate coach has retired along with 3 of my Checkers coaches, so it's a little unfortunate. Kind of sucks. I guess the associate coach just wanted a payday before he retired. Yeah, I cannot make trades before the draft starts. That would have been convenient, though. So it was a Minnesota versus Montreal final. I'm glad that Minnesota won. Patrick winning in the Art Ross and Hart again. Tom winning the Norris. Conn Smythe went to Roach, a player who left our team 2 years ago. So the Canes in this go-through have had a nasty habit of players winning awards after the Canes get rid of them. Canes stats. Winning the William M. Jennings. Wade winning another Selke. Patrick winning the Ted Lindsay and Rocket Richard again. Shocked. Entry draft. The first overall pick this year belongs to Winnipeg. I'm ready to get hurt again. And trade the 13th overall pick this time. I think with a higher pick I can do it. Skaters matching their block. There's quite a few. Let's see if I can do this. Bomick, because I think he's not going to grow any higher. I'm going to keep Churin. McIntyre, because if I have this center, he's not going to be really worth it. Let's see. Woefully insufficient. So I need to add, but it's a start. Oh, nope, that's too many centers. I thought that said D. My bad. Bloom. This was the player that I meant to add. So let's see if that changes anything. Isn't where it needs to be at all. So let's add the 26th overall pick and see if that changes anything. Still the same deal. So let's take that out instead of Bloom. Let's see if adding Jason Mariani makes this go through. Woefully insufficient still. You're kidding. Would that do it? Plus, like, let's just add Kostitsyn just to see. Done well meeting the block needs. Everybody has contract term. What if I added Bloom? Isn't sufficient at all. Still. I don't want to trade Blaine or Prieta. Do I have any goalies that match the block? That might do it. Yeah, but he's a prospect, so that doesn't matter typically. That wouldn't, yeah, that typically doesn't matter. I mean, so since I've traded Bomick, that's fine. Let's trade Nold instead, because I think his value is a little higher. Alright, you know what? I'm giving up too much. I think, I have a good center, and then I think I can do better in free agency. I know he's a franchise, and I know I'm passing up on him, but I just can't. I can't consciously give up that much. And look, here's a great center right here that my scouts love. Ian Sutton might be he's NHL ready, they say. 78 overall. What a pick. All right. See, that's fine. '26th overall is where the draft is going to start to peter out. My scouts really don't like Philippe Rogers here. I mean, I already have a bunch of playmaking centers now, so I don't think that's really necessary. There are a couple top 4D options available. My scouts like Aaron Hillen here. He is a two-way forward. Michael Grabner comparisons, but his skating is weak. What is this? Ugh. Okay, that wasn't a good pick. It's fine. I don't think I would have been able to get much better. But it's okay. My scouts really like Gary Fiddler, but again, I have a lot of centers. But it really doesn't look like there's a whole lot available here. I guess we'll pick him up, even though he's not the best. 88th overall. Really just looking for potential now. There's a high elite goaltender, huh? Murray Earl. High elite. I can't pass up on that. 56 overall at 20 years old is not good, but that high elite is probably worth it. Alright. There's another good goalie available in this draft. Really nothing else, though, that stands out. Medium top 6 right winger. He's a sniper. Shooting and physical is great. Puck skills and senses are good. Skating and defense are not, but you can work on that. 66 overall. He's 19. That's a great pick, especially with medium top 6 potential. Glad I saw that. Now we're just kind of looking for the best players available. Screw it, let's just do it. Last pick in the draft, let's just grab the goaltender here, and we'll be done. Okay. Motzko, traded to Philly. Seems like the only big trade of that draft. All right. Wow, we need a lot of stuff. Basically need a whole new coaching staff next year. Luckily, I don't need any new scouts. I'm just gonna keep signing all these guys. That's it. Alright, last thing we'll do before we leave is check the future of the team and the best free agents. The best free agent here is Sebastian Aho, and I probably won't be signing him. Or Russo, or Garon. Yeah. So, there's going to be some changes coming up, but Sutton, I'm going to go ahead and offer a contract to, so I don't forget. Collins is looking like a decent pick from this draft, actually. 18 years old, already at a 70 overall. Good third round pick there. Backer is looking great as a second round pick on the defensive side of things. He's a defensive defenseman now. And we've got McIntyre and a couple other players. It's looking like a pretty good draft class overall, with me definitely signing 5 of those prospects, which is good. Goaltenders, yeah, I'm hoping that Earl turns out to be okay, but yeah, yikes. But thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Might be later tonight, to be honest. Depends on how bored I get. It'll probably